Public hospitals will start charging for MRI and CT scans for non-emergency patients. A woman died after falling into waters near the outlying island of Pengchao. 2 schools will not be able to run Primary 1 classes from the next school year. Hello and welcome to TVB News. The government is currently reviewing the payment structure at public hospitals in the city, with the updated fee charging scheme set to be announced by the end of the month. Secretary for Health Lo Chung-Mao said charges will become mandatory for services such as MRI and CT scans, but such services for patients at the emergency ward will remain free of charge. Timothy Lee reports.
Sources said the government's review of Hong Kong's public hospital fee structure will come to its long-awaited conclusion at the end of this month at the earliest. Authorities confirmed that they are currently looking into charging non-emergency patients for more complex services such as MRI and CT scans. However, emergency ward patients and inpatients can continue to use such services free of charge. Secretary for Health Lo Chung-Mao said outpatient MRI and CT scans are currently offered for free, and they are subsidized 100%. He added that all extra revenue will be used in medical services for emergency and critically ill patients. Some patients shared their thoughts on the updated charging system. This man said the fees are relatively affordable, noting that his recent MRI only cost him $85. While this man hopes authorities will not increase the fees any further, saying that the charges will become a burden once they reach thousands of dollars. Reports have also indicated that the adjusted charging scheme will cover all public hospital services, including specialist outpatient clinic, prescription, and radiography charges. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
The body of a woman was found floating in waters near Pengchao. Preliminary investigations indicated the woman accidentally fell into the sea while trying to board a boat. Police officers discovered the woman floating some 5 meters offshore from the Pengchao Municipal Services building while patrolling the island at around 8 a.m. Fire services personnel confirmed her death on site. Her cause of death has yet to be confirmed. Sources said the 47-year-old woman accidentally fell into the sea after she lost her footing while trying to board a boat to her workplace at a fast food restaurant at Discovery Bay. Investigations indicated she was a non-swimmer. Authorities believe no foul play was involved. A man was involved in rioting in Wan Chai in 2019 and moved to Japan the following year. After being arrested upon returning to Hong Kong, the 27-year-old pleaded guilty today to 1 count of rioting. The case was heard at the district court. The defendant, Chen Wai-yu, an accounting firm employee, pleaded guilty to 1 count of rioting and was remanded in custody until next Thursday. The court heard that in August 2019, Chen took part in a riot near Hennessy Road in Wan Chai. Demonstrators there set up roadblocks, lit a fire on the road and hurled petrol bombs at officers. He left Hong Kong in 2020 and was arrested in 2023 while visiting his ailing mother. Declining student enrollment is spelling trouble to 2 primary schools. The Education Bureau will stop issuing grants for the 2 schools to operate Primary 1 classes in the next school year because of insufficient student admission. One of the 2 schools facing enrollment woes is Prince Memorial Catholic Primary School in Wong Tai Sin. It failed to meet the minimum intake of 16 students to form a Primary 1 class for the new school year. Some students said the school made the announcement on its e-platform. This primary 6 student said it's a pity, but she could foresee this a few years back when her school admitted more non-Chinese speaking students. This primary 5 pupil said she saw a sudden drop in enrollment too and wondered if that's because more Hong Kong families emigrated overseas. This parent expressed worries but hopes the school will press on with its operation. Prince Memorial Catholic Primary School said a declining school-age population in Hong Kong and the institution's inconvenient location have compounded its difficulties in recruiting students. Its principal Maureen Ho said they are saddened by the news and hopes their pupils can continue to be nurtured in schools under the Catholic diocese. Another institution facing a class cut is Apley Chow Kaifeng Primary School, which is given an option of running a private Primary 1 class. But that's conditional upon the school proving to be financially capable of supporting the newly admitted pupils' primary education for 6 years. Otherwise, it would have to merge with other schools or shutter for good. Secretary for Education Christine Choi said the structural issue of a declining school-age student population meant the number of schools facing class cuts could reach double digits in the coming few years. Chen Yong-pong, honorary chairman of the Hong Kong Aided Primary School Heads Association, said the government could also consider coordinating with schools with more admissions to cut their classes voluntarily to help those facing a cold while optimizing education resources territory-wide. The United Nations fact-finding mission has accused Israel of deliberately targeting and destroying sexual and reproductive healthcare facilities in Gaza since October 7, 2023. Israel rejected the findings as unfounded. An independent UN commission said Israel has increasingly employed sexual, reproductive, and other forms of gender-based violence against Palestinians. It said Israel also carried out genocidal acts through the systematic destruction of sexual and reproductive healthcare facilities. An Israeli siege on Gaza blocked large-scale humanitarian aid, including those essential for safe pregnancies, deliveries, and neonatal care. The UN Commission concluded that Israel had partially destroyed the reproductive capacity of Palestinians in Gaza by acts of genocide as defined by the Rome Statute and the Genocide Convention. President Donald Trump said the U.S. really needs Greenland for national security and suggested more U.S. troops could be heading that way.
That whole area is becoming very important, and for a lot of reasons, the routes are, very direct to Asia, to Russia, and you have ships all over the place, and we have to have protection. We really need Greenland for national security. It's very important. We have a couple of bases on Greenland already, and we have quite a few soldiers, and maybe you'll see more and more soldiers go there.
Back locally, the Hong Kong Tourism Board announced that a total of 8.4 million tourists visited Hong Kong in the first 2 months of this year. The HKTB noted there was a noticeable surge in non-mainland visitors. Mainland tourists alone accounted for 6.5 million visitors, an increase of 4% year-on-year. Tourists from the short haul market reached 1.1 million, a strong growth of 26% year-on-year, among which Southeast Asian tourists increased by over 30%. Meanwhile, the HKTB recorded some 500,000 tourists from the long-haul market at a growth of 20%. Australian tourists alone increased by over 30%. The 10-day Hong Kong Flower Show opened today at Victoria Park. Featuring an exuberant array of blooms from around the world, the floral exhibition has drawn not just locals, but also tourists. Take a look. A bustling and blossoming scene of people and blooms on the very first day of the annual flower show. This year's floral display is themed Ablaze with Glory. Apart from the theme flower Cosmos, another centerpiece is this lush tapestry of tulips. After officiating the opening ceremony, Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism Rosanna Law relished a chance to take pictures against a floral backdrop. Many students trying to capture the floral vibrancy too.
I like this flower because it's very special and it takes me a long time to draw, and this color is very shiny.
Not just on canvases, but also on cameras.
I will take my camera along with me so that I can capture whatever things I can see, which can inspire me.
Perfect word. It's great. All the flowers, I like it.
The children doing all of the artwork and just sitting there, they're very creative and very talented. So just what they're doing with the tulips, like being in Amsterdam.
This year's flower show features 238 organizations, including 81 exhibitors from 11 other countries. The floral extravaganza runs from today until March 23rd from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. Admission is set at $14. Free admission for senior citizens and the disabled from Monday through Friday. And that's the news. Thank you for watching.